to let the mayhem begin with myself, Ruby, got Italy Jet Gino in the house, we got Matt.
Story of the season, it's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written. Brilliant response. Liverpool lead early in the Champions League final.
And he's in behind with Igor giving chase to the channel off his line in the 90th minute.
I'm ready to get hurt again.
Boom! Welcome to Monday night. It's the new intro put together by my boy Italy Jet. Love it.
Dude, how freaking funny was that? I did that for you, Maddie. I did that for you, buddy. I did that for you.
I always just forget that clip exists, and it's so perfect.
It's so good.
One of my favorite players of all time. He might be actually my favorite player of all time. I love Torres.
That's a bit of a niche one.
Right.
Torres. Yeah, no, okay, fine.
Niche,
Torres,
right
yeah.
Wow.
Torres, yeah. Torres is
when he was at Liverpool, obviously he was rubbish at Chelsea, right?
Oh no. Both sides he did great for.
100%. Yeah, I feel like he had really big moments at Chelsea. I mean, whether
he had the big
whether or not you want to argue it was a massive flop of a transfer, or that's his own debate
but he made it up on that play. He made it up.
Of some of the moments that he provided for our club, they're pretty mental. But yeah, I mean, let's just let's call a spade a spade. He was way better at Liverpool. let's be honest.
He was way better at Liverpool, had bigger moments with Chelsea, but then he went to Atletico de Madrid and he just felt relaxed at home again.
And then just got really hench. Like he's massive now.
He is huge.
It's like a bodybuilder now. He never was like
good
that.
for him.
Suddenly I saw him.
Good for him.
Hello and welcome back to the Fernando Torres podcast.
Welcome back to the up to the minute.
Those three, I wanted to add 3 big moments. That was a moment for me. That was a big moment for Chelsea and a big moment for Liverpool. So it was good stuff.
Loved it.
Very
And also,
nice.
what's also just so special and so particular about this podcast is all of those goals were scored in a European competition, which I think is just when we're talking about the Premier League on this show.
Exactly.
Anyway,
we're on the biggest stages. It was the biggest stages for the biggest moments.
We'll take it, man. I love it. No, seriously, I'm on that. Love that. Hey guys, hey Peaches, hey Belcotter in the chat. Nice of you to come and join us. Where do we want to start? So, do we start with the big news from City?
Honestly,
got to bring it up, right? That's a nice blank screen. That's really
I love the blank screen.
Huge.
Love it. Loving that. Yeah, really
big news from City. White rectangle. Let's go.
White rectangle. There we go. There we go. It's in there somewhere.
Yeah.
The 9.5 year contract. We have to start with this. Has to be the talking point.
Yeah, this is L's moment. This is huge.
I don't want to hear how stupid Chelsea contracts are again. Instead of pulling this.
Right.
This is stupid, man. Come on. 9.5 years.
It makes a mockery of so many things, right? It makes a complete and utter mockery of the financial fair play rules and anything else, because it's NFL money, right? It's like, we'll pay you for 10 years and we'll kick it down the line, and signing bonuses and all that. Look at his contract, £247 million. It's like, come on, that's beyond the pale. That's thumbing the nose at the financial fair play in the Premier League and all that, and almost just saying, come on, do your worst. You let Chelsea get away with it, and now we've taken what Chelsea have done,
right,
and have just go big with it. From a other side of it, terrifying for the rest of the league if he is planning on staying around.
L's got a hot take on the bottom. So
that opens a whole can of worms.
How long does Pep stay around for another?
9
years.
This is already his longest tenure at a club, right? Like, he's never been at another club as long as he's been right now. So how long Does he stay? But yeah, I mean, I always find contracts like this so weird. Like I remember when we gave Mudryk his however long deal, which again that's a whole different thing by itself.
Damn,
Man,
but
if he wasn't on your team, he would be successful somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I genuinely
say that about 70 other players on Chelsea's team.
Also, so valid. But I feel like the problem is when you're giving out contracts as long as this. Obviously, I know it's not going to happen, but realistically, Haaland could drop stinkers for the next 9.5 years. What are they going to do? They can't not pay him. I'm sure some of it's going to be like incentivized, like there's going to be goal bonuses and stuff. But realistically,
probably on top of this.
Yeah, he's got the contract now, right? And even if they want to release him, what they go? Oh, well, they're just going to have to pay off the rest of his contract to get him out of it. Like, you know, this is why I feel like contracts like this annoy me. And just for the record, I was exactly like this when Chelsea were handing out stupidly long contracts as well. They are stupid. Like 4 or 5 years is more than enough. Like who's signing well, let's call it a 10-year contract? 'Cause it pretty much is. Like, is insane. That could be the rest of this man's career, right? Like tied up in.
So when he's 34, right?
He's going to be 34 come the end of this year. 34, 35,
I think 34 or 32. I thought it was 34. I think it's 34. I'm pretty sure it's
something like that. Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. I just think I'm with L on this one. I think if Pep goes, I think he goes. I just don't think this is going to be. I don't think this is going to be a long-term like relationship. In my opinion.
So you think this is just so like they can get like a massive?
Well, I really do think. I think it's both. I think it's everything. So I think it's everything. But shout out to Taylor, my friend in the chat. He says Anthony should go to City. Anthony should go to City from Man U.
Anthony, the Man United reject, he should cross Stretford and go to the other side of Manchester.
How much drama would that be?
It's been done now. Yeah, Tevez was the first one.
No, yeah.
There was enough
Equally,
drama there.
I feel like United fans would absolutely not care. So,
dude, they don't care. He needs to go to Spain. I think he'll be fine at Real Betis.
He's not a Premier League player.
He's going to be good in Spain. He's going to be good anywhere else. It's just not here.
Yeah,
no,
this isn't the league for him.
I really do think when Pep goes, he will go at the end of Pep's contract because he just signed a new one. That's why Haaland, I think, signed a new one, and then that's it.
And then it's done. City
I think that's it, in my opinion. DJ, you started it. I'm ending it. You know who I am. I don't think you know who I am a little bit, but we'll figure it out later.
We'll get there. Dude. Yeah, I said it already, DJ. That thing about it's a lot. It strikes me as a lot of the NFL ones.
Yeah, they are
contracts. Signing.
I'd say hockey. I'd say hockey, in my opinion. They do a lot. Right? Both of them for sure. I wouldn't say NFL. I would say hockey and baseball.
Yeah, just insane numbers.
Well, yeah, because I mean, baseballers are out here signing what, like 15-year deals. Like it's mental.
No, seriously, it's anywhere between 6 to 15 years. Seriously.
Yeah, that's insane.
A lot of money, just a lot of guaranteed money.
NHL's the same way. Up front, it's all kind of paid up front. And yeah, it's mad. It is, and as you know, Peachy says earlier on, it is taking the piss to the financial fair play.
Facts.
It's almost, come on in, just take it on, and I think it's City just saying, "Fuck you guys." And does it also flip to the 115 charges? Do they know something that the rest of us don't?
I feel like if this doesn't confirm they've gotten away with it, I don't know what else does. Like, there is no way that if you are convinced you're going to get caught for even like a fraction of the stuff that's been leveled against them, you do not pull out a deal like this. Like, this feels just so like nailed on that they've got away with this. And like, I remember like saying in the group chat with you guys before, like I remember hearing like an actual financial expert talk about this, and it sounds like, although the case against them is very, very good, it sounds like the kind of ways in which the evidence has been gathered is maybe not ideal, which City can maybe kind of hinge their whole defense on, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, I feel like you don't make a statement like this if you are convinced that there's like a 150-point deduction coming your way in the near future, right? Like this feels like they've got a pretty good clue they've gone away with this.
Yeah, which
I think
sucks
so.
for the rest of us. I think, and sucks for the rest of the league.
A fine. It's going to be a fine.
Yeah, it's going to be a monetary fine, which obviously money is such a problem for these guys, and they can throw around a £250 million contract. It's just anyway.
Yeah.
That was my rant over, and first sort of big news. Who else has got anything they would like to get off their chest tonight?
Honestly, I would like to give Peaches. This is a great thing for Peaches. Mirlo, their center back, just signed a 4 or 5.5 year deal for their center back till 2029. That's huge for their defense. I mean, when you're doing good at the right time, you bring back the players that you need to continue to be successful. I think that's huge. And overall, I mean, the Kyle Walker thing going to Milan, there's more Chelsea players being talked about every single day. Where they're going to go, where's Cunha going to go? There's just so much. That's why I love January. I just love January.
It's just January transfer
so chaotic.
Everyone's just like, suddenly everybody wants somebody, and it's like, Chelsea are selling this person and that person and buying. Did Chelsea just buy another couple of players?
Yeah, probably. It's just what we do.
They did. I mean, I think Garnacho's on his way out too, so it's wherever he
that's going to be wild.
It's going to be really weird. Napoli or Atletico, that's what they're thinking right now.
Because like United fans love Garnacho, and to be fair, I know he's very hot and cold, but I feel like he's one of those players that I kind of feel like he's quite exciting whenever he's on the field, because he's got those moments in him, right? Like he's definitely got. I feel like he'd be that player on FIFA that's like, his overall wouldn't be amazing, but it would have that has that special something, right? Because he has those moments that you're like, wow, like this is the guy, and then he has a lot of moments where you're like,
this is the boy.
That's not the guy.
He's
got a little something about him. He's a little spicy guy. I like him.
I mean, like I said, Chelsea's. I mean, now Sarr is even being brought back to you got Çalhanoğlu back now for defense, and Cornet just went to
what a game he had
West
today,
Ham.
By the way.
So from West Ham, this is gonna get so damn crazy. And I seriously think Garnacho's definitely out. I think Rashford's going to Italy. If West Ham,
Rashford has to go out. I think
he can't be. I would love Rashford, but he's not going to come back to the Premier League right now. I think he needs to clear his head, go somewhere else. I just think that's just the way it's going to go right now.
I think West Ham under Potter would be a good move for Rashford, but yeah, I agree. I don't think he's staying in the Prem. I don't.
No, Potter really wants Angel Gomez and David, the Canadian. From what is that team? I just had it from France.
Is it
Lille? Lille. Yeah, he's requesting that to happen like in the summertime. I would love to see that combination. Right now, they really want Arnsby Hall from Chelsea. I know they really want to bring Potts back, Freddie Potts back, and I know there's a few other ones that they're trying to get. I know they're Ferguson from Brighton as well. There's so many things that you could do that on.
He's going to dip into the Brighton pool of talent that he knows is there.
I mean, I think it's a great idea. You got to build up that striker position, because all we have is Bowen coming back, and then you have rely on Danny Ings and in a very, very out of shape and doesn't know what he's doing. Kudos. You just don't know where any of these guys' minds are at. So for West Ham, I think there's a lot of bright side to come, especially with Potter. But right now, we're just going through it like any other club is in the middle of the pack right now, especially in Tottenham.
You couldn't even say the name, could you?
I just can't. Sorry.
We'll get to that. We'll get to Tottenham.
We'll get to that, but I'm done with my rant. Go on.
Matty, come on. You came in saying you had something to get off your chest. Let's go.
No, do you know what? Honestly, I just feel like there are two teams that have won the transfer market already. And to be fair, we've briefly covered both. First of all, just to blow my own horn, Chelsea for bringing Trevor Chalobah back from loan. Why the hell was this man ever out? He was our best centre back by a country mile. Comes back for one game, gets man of the match. I've got his stats here from the player of the match award. Assists 1, first team rank. Chances created 2 from centre back, first in the team. Interceptions 4, first. Clearances 6, touches 99. he has come back and in one game has proven why he's better than like Badiashile, Disasi, Wesley Fofana. Like, he's a great centre back, but he's got legs made of cheese strings. Like, why was this man ever sent out on loan? It's bloody infuriating. But
I agree with you.
I'm glad he's back. I think that's a cracking move. So I'm happy with that. And the second team.
Also, can I just answer why he was sent on
go.
loan? Is because you had 78 defenders.
No, valid.
Get them off your books.
But he was better than so many of them.
Should have got rid of so many. I agree. He should have sent so many of the other ones away.
Absolutely.
I think the rest of them just came in and went, I have to get rid of 50 players. These are all going on loan.
Yeah, but that's what makes it even better. Like, he was frozen out of this team, and Maresca was like, yeah, there's no way we can fit him in. He's brought him back for one game, and Chalobah has just done the biggest, like, middle finger to, like, upper management of this club. And like, do you know what? I am literally the best centre-back here. Don't know what to tell you. So, yeah, buzzing for that. But that's enough of me blowing Chelsea's horn, because that's very off-brand of me. So the other club that I'm going to blow smoke up their backside, which, again, is very off-brand for me, I think United win the transfer window if they get Anthony out on loan. I think that's a belting bit of business. I genuinely, if they can sack that man off after paying more money than I want to even think about, I think if they can get him out on loan, that's cracking business. Like, I mean, what happened? He tried to look hard on a touchline once and span around in some circles, and now here we are.
I mean,
that's about all he's going to be remembered for.
I think so. It's pretty rough.
I mean, and Chelsea's rumored with Vlahovic from Juventus as well, and then City are set to sign, a center back Yoma Baha from what's that name? I forgot where. El Biagadi.
Yes.
Why
was he?
He would know.
Why?
Felix will give out. But dude, the West Ham, and I forgot about this. West Ham did put a bid for Duran at Villa for 57 million.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a big bid as well.
No. If he can get in here, Duran not playing on the bench all the time, just being a super sub. If Duran gets regular starting minutes, that's gonna be a great money for that type of player. I want him. I want him badly. I want him to start. I want him to be here.
What was the bid? Was it 57.5?
Nope, just 57 million.
57,
straight up.
Okay.
Great work, honestly. I think
that's the kind of money that you have to offer in January, right? Like, January is so hard to get moves done. Like, it's like you said about them wanting to go in for Evan Ferguson. Like, I think that would be a phenomenal move. But I think the amount of money you'd have to pay Brighton to get Evan Ferguson out of there in January,
tripping right now.
Like, it would very quickly make that a deal. You'd be like, Jesus Christ, is that what? Like, I love Enzo Fernandez. The amount of money we paid for him in January was ridiculous. Obviously, because it was January and Benfica knew we wanted him, there was no way we were getting him for anywhere near probably what he's worth. So, but Ferguson would be a great signing, but that would be a lot of P's to get that across the line.
Duran is the type of guy that you need right now up there. I think he can get kudos out of his shell too. And I think having that type of player come in, especially in January when Potter is, he lost the game, great. But that's the type of signing that I think that can turn some things. You'll give him 1 or 2 games, maybe 3, and I think he hates that situation at Villa. Like, he's not even starting right now. If I was the kind of player
close to getting started,
exactly. I mean, I think that's a game. I think it's a game.
And he was their main guy. At the end
was their main guy. With Watkins up front, but
he had a spell where he blew up, didn't he?
Oh, for sure. And I mean, listen, City, right? They are signing a bunch of players in January, just like El predicted a few shows ago. Who else do you guys think who's going to be very active in this transfer window at all? Both of you.
Everton. I reckon Everton are going to come in.
You think so?
Moyes is there. Yeah. I like that. I think Everton are going to start splashing a bit of that new cash that's floating around. Now that Moyes is in and he's kind of got his first win. Thank you to Tottenham for helping out those lower teams again, doing Tottenham things. Haven't Tottenham just basically given a win to everybody in the bottom 4 this season?
Wow.
Wolves beat them. Ipswich beat them. Everton have now beaten them. I think Southampton are the only ones that haven't, right? Anyway.
Correct. What do you think, Maddie?
Yeah, I kind of agree with the Everton shout. I think, like, Moyes, I feel like for Moyes to have taken that job, he would have been given certain guarantees that they are going to be investing into this team, right? Because we've had a look at this team before. There are some players at Everton that are good players. Like some of the spine of that team is actually pretty good. But when you kind of deep dive into it, you are kind of looking at being like, no, where they are in the league makes sense, right? Like it's not a particularly stacked team. So I would think they are going to be like in need of some investment. Obviously, we've seen City are not messing about. Obviously, they've had a bit of an off year this year, and you could tell, the work they seem to be doing now feels like the rebuilding that should have been taking place over the last couple of years. So they have been They have been active. I don't really know if I see anyone else. I feel like United probably need to be, but United feel more of like we need to kind of offload some of the.
No, I think they're desperate.
Crap, right? Yeah, they probably are.
I think they're desperate to save their season just to get everybody on board with Amorin. You know what I mean?
What would what you're going? Let's considering the manager has just said this is the worst Man United team ever.
Yeah, that's a rough
red flag. That's a red flag.
Red flag thing to say, right? Or any player in that locker room right now must.
No, don't do that. No, don't do that.
He doesn't mean it.
Peaches, I apologize. Peaches,
sorry,
listen, I love you, Peaches. Don't.
Okay, wait. No. Swap deal. Rasmus Højlund plus 10 mil for Chris Wood. Who says no? Come on. Probably Forest.
Probably Forest say no to that. Probably.
Anyway, sorry, move on.
No. So this is why I think
lost our main supporter in the chat.
Yeah,
that's hilarious. God, you knew what you were doing there. You went lower himself.
Hello and welcome to the Man United bashing podcast.
Right. No,
we've been reasonably gentle with them up to this
Boss
point.
Man says no. No, I think Arsenal need to make a move. I think Arsenal, they need to save everything that they got. They're second place right now, moving on up, trying to pass Forest right now. They're tied in points right now. I just think overall it's going to be Arsenal. I think it's going to be City and Man United. And also a little sneakier team. Obviously, I'm going to say West Ham, obviously. But I think the sneakier team, I think Newcastle.
Ooh, what, to try and make a real push for that top 4 spot? I mean, they're sat in 6th
Top five. Okay. I think they're trying to make. I really think they have the pieces. They just need a couple more guys.
I'm trying to think, what do they need? I mean, I know they stumbled and got absolutely spanked at the weekend, and I don't think any of us called that result coming. But
I think Barnes is either going to be on his way out.
Yeah, he's
January or this summer, but I think that they could get someone good for that. But I think even Bournemouth can even try and make a shot. Villa are active right now. You could see Fulham doing some things, but if Arsenal are done. Oh, Arsenal's done. Yeah. Okay, I wouldn't spend now. Okay, cool. Hey, that's good for me because I hate him, so it's fine. Yeah. But see, there you go. Now you say you need a striker. Which one is it, DJ?
Would you spend? Would you go in Jan? Yeah, I suppose going back to what you said there, though, Gino. I think the moves that City are doing, I think, are the moves that should have happened in the summer
for sure.
And now they're kind of going.
They relied on the old guys. Relied on the old guys.
And I think Pep's kind of woken up to the fact that he needs a refresh. And he needs.
Listen, these top 8 teams are going to be active. I really think they're going to be active just to try and stay up there in the top 6. I really think that's going to happen. Because
I don't see Liverpool being too busy. They might because of some niggles and some injuries.
I feel like if you're Liverpool, though, you don't want to upset the apple cart too much, right? Yeah. Like, you've got a really good thing going right now. Like, you didn't change too much from last season. I mean,
whether it's your team
Chiesa came in, but really was any other business done? I feel like that was kind of about it, really, wasn't it?
Yeah,
pretty much. It was
but you gotta build.
Yeah,
you gotta build depth in January to make a strong push because a lot of injuries happen this time of year too.
This is true. It does definitely feel like other teams are just tripping over their own spaghetti, though. Right
exactly, Maddie. No, seriously,
I feel like Liverpool. Don't get me wrong, Liverpool have been really good, but equally, I feel like really no one is really doing a job of putting them under pressure, right? Like Liverpool could kind of be like, we're kind of just in our own world right now. We've got a game in hand. This is absolutely fine. And everyone else is like, yeah, we'll get. Oh no, I've fallen over, but the next guy will do it. Right. Oh yeah, we'll get. Oh no, we've also fallen over. Then the next guy will do it. Wait, oh no, we fell over ages ago. Yeah, just feel like everyone's kind of tripping over themselves right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never
I think
know.
Arsenal had it in there. I mean, Arsenal tripping over at the weekend, 2-0 up against Villa. And I thought, this is a big result for them. And then getting back to 2-2 and getting the point there was a big, statement of Arsenal's, whatever's, bottle title chances, whatever you want to call it. I think that was an interesting one. But yeah, it's an odd one that Liverpool have had, the rub of the green, and it's all looking rosy. If Liverpool went and in the transfer window, if you like, came out and said, we signed Trent to a new deal, we signed Virgil to 2 years, and we signed Mo Salah to 2 years, I think
you'd have to be pretty happy with that.
There's going to be a lot of re-signing.
Don't worry about buying anyone else. Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of re-signed contracts too. Like I said about Peach's team with Forest, I think there's going to be an extensions too for the team for the players they already had. I could see them even doing that with Wood too. I mean, there's a lot of players that this summer is going to be nuts already. We don't have to talk about that right now, but it's going to be nuts. This January is going to be nuts too. There's too many things that could happen, in my personal opinion.
I think you're right. I think a lot of teams will look ahead and go for hey, we're playing reasonably well. We're in a position above where we expected to be. Let's give some of our assets
fighting for relegation, fighting for the top 7. It's going to be insane.
And just in case a bigger team comes in, then I think as Peaches put it in the chat earlier on, Murillo's got a new extension, but I bet there's a buyout clause of stupid amounts of money because they know somebody's going to come knocking for him at the end of the season.
For sure. I agree with
That's a corker of a question, DJ. I was going to ask this because what
is there a hyphen between that?
What, resigning?
I'm
done. I'm finished.
No, he's gone.
I've not had my finger on the pulse of the situation, but I feel like there's definitely been murmurs, and I feel like Salah has said a few things that could either be they could either be I am done
cryptic.
And I need a new challenge.
It's cryptic,
or it could be like the typical NFL wide receiver move.
Right.
I've unfollowed this team on Instagram. I'm so done with this team. And then 3 weeks later, they're like, so glad to be signing with the team. Bills for life.
Love this team.
So Gary, I'm assuming you're a lot closer to the situation than either of us are. What's the vibe with this right now?
No, before Gary says something, he's going to Saudi. That's it.
Oh,
from me, I think he's going to Saudi. What do you think, bro? Groovy, what do you think?
It's been a weird one. I think there's a lot of, and with taking that NFL reference you just talked about and using a similar sort of thing, I think there's a lot of Mike McCarthy Dallas Cowboys going on here, where Salah's gone, I'd love to stay, but give me 4 years.
Right.
And the Liverpool hierarchy are kind of going, we'd love you to stay. Here's a 2-year contract.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And I think it's a bit like, no, I want longer for more money, and City turning around and going, here's Haaland's 9.5-year deal. It's going to screw the market. So many other teams and so many other big players are suddenly going to go, I want something like that. Maybe Salah, not at his age, but some of the younger ones will. But yeah,
Bowen did the same thing.
It depends if Salah comes in, and if someone in Saudi comes back with another 100 million plus bid.
Right.
Liverpool have to take it. They have to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They should have taken the 152 years ago.
For sure.
Whenever that.
So is this the last year of his contract now?
Yeah, you can go for a free. You can go for a free.
Yeah, he can go for free right now.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So can Trent, so can Virgil.
But then I suppose
true.
just to play devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
So say let's maybe just take Virgil and Trent out of this conversation.
Trent wants to leave though, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. But say with Salah, you can either take a huge money offer from Saudi right now, and obviously that gives you a lot of money into the club, which can be reinvested. That's fine, but that could potentially massively upset the squad, right? And then that potentially puts this title charge in danger. Would you rather that or keep him till the end of the season, lose him on a free, which obviously isn't ideal, but I feel like Liverpool money-wise are probably going to be okay. but it obviously gives you a much bigger chance of winning the league title this season, right? Like, I guess in that scenario,
I'd keep him for the season. I'd keep him to the end of the season.
Yeah.
Go all out, all of the cups that we can win. If we win the league and do win the Champions League, then we are the prime target, if you like.
That could persuade him to want to stay, right?
A, could persuade him to stay, and B, it could also mean that when and if he goes for 70, 80 million to Saudi, we can turn around to another striker and go, come play for the Champions League champions, come play for the Premier League champions. So I would suggest if he's not going to sign and eventually it gets to the stage where nobody wants to agree to a final deal, then let him play out his contract. The downside on that one is, does he play out his contract for 2 or 3 months and then suddenly go, I got to keep myself healthy, so I'm suddenly not going to give you everything, and it's like a horrible situation. Because we've all seen that in other sports where players are playing out a contract and then business decisions are made, right?
Right. Also, though, we gotta address also the elephant in the room is he could go near his family. Does he care about winning that much to stay this year, or even the year last year to move his family totally where in Saudi where he can make a ton of money? And then retire. And then also his family is literally in the same areas, not necessarily in Saudi, but the same areas. Does it matter winning that much? Or is it money winning that much? Or does his legend status at Liverpool matter to him that much? We've all seen those 2 interviews of, hey, this is my last year, like cryptic, right, man? Like you said, cryptic of like, this could be my last year, right? That's just him playing my games for everybody, but also I think there's just more behind the scenes that could lead him to Saudi. But right now, it could be just a Liverpool thing. It literally is those 3 things, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's such a straight, and it's nice that it is so confusing for fans, and it's not being played out in the open, and it's not everyone knows this, that, and the other. It's like there's those 3 guys. All Liverpool fans are hoping that conversations are happening in the background and things are happening, but we don't know. But none of the players are kind of making a big deal about it. None of them are kind of going on social media and saying anything about it or making, derogatory posts or comments in post-match interviews or anything like that. So it's being handled, in the right way. The downside is if it gets to the end of the season and we have to then go, oh, look, there goes, our homegrown right back who's won everything. Off on a free to Real Madrid. There goes our captain, who's also won everything. The club has gone off to wherever Virgil goes, and let's be honest, he'll walk into any club anywhere. And Salah going to Saudi, that would be like that's a rebuild straight away for Arne Slot, who's maybe had a honeymoon season, but then he'd have to rebuild.
That would be a back down to earth moment pretty fast. Yeah,
that's ripping the core out of that team.
I mean, that'd be hard for any manager, like especially even like you said, if this first year goes to plan, which by all accounts it really looks like it's going to right now, right? Like you guys in the Champions League have been phenomenal. In the league, you're just looking by far the most comfortable of any team. Great first year, but I think even if that happened during like Jurgen Klopp's tenure, right, that's a rough transition to have to make. So for that to be your second year, obviously, again, I feel like this year will have given him a fair amount of credit in the bank. So I don't think this is like a panic stations. Plus, Liverpool seem a lot less rash than most other Premier League teams.
Right.
But that would be a big undertaking, and I feel like you said, when you just look at the 3 players that they are, right? Mo Salah has become such an icon of this Liverpool team. Van Dijk has become such an icon of this Premier League team and kind of Premier League centre-backs generally. Like, whether you want to have that conversation and whatever your opinions are, Van Dijk has to be in that conversation of some of the best centre-back player we've ever seen in the league. Like, regardless of your opinion or whatever, he has to be there. He has to be. And then when you look at Trent, like you said, homegrown boy who has won everything with this team. Those are 3 massive players, right? Like, we're not just talking about part-time players, or not part-time players, but like bit players or people that came in for a big fee and kind of have done well, but haven't, these are 3 iconic players that have been there in this kind of most recent part of Liverpool's success. So that's 3 rough people to potentially even have to think about replacing. Like, those are big deals.
Yeah,
I agree, 100%.
Wow,
I do talk about it sometimes. Crazy.
Exhausting.
What the hell?
Hang on, we're all in agreement.
On agreement of what? Of what?
Of those 3 being key to Liverpool's success.
For sure. For sure.
Those contracts.
And you can't keep all 3 of them. Like, one of them is gonna go. 2 of them can go. Like, you're gonna keep one of them. I just don't know.
You have to keep one of them, but
you have to make that effort for one of them.
Yeah, but I would prefer us to keep Trent because we've got the potential to go to Trent. Go, hey, look, Haaland's just got this deal.
Right.
You're about the same age. We're going to build our team around you. You're going to move to midfield. You're going to be like Mr. Liverpool. Here's a 10-year deal for 250 million. Don't ever leave us, type thing. Because you could build a team around him because he's that good a player. He's that good a passer. You know, when he plays in midfield, whatever else.
Right.
I don't know, but then FSG, as you know, as owners of Boston, they're not that keen on putting their hand in their pocket too often. So
it's changing this year, but well, a few years ago, how could I tell? I would have said yes, definitely.
So be interested to see what happens on the transfer market in that front, and that's the 3, not transfers, not looking for, we need to go and buy this player and that player. I don't think there's any Liverpool fans out there scouring the market going, it'd be great if we got this, that, and the other, because we need, you look at our squad, we don't really need a lot. We just need to nail these 3 down to new contracts, and then everything's happy days.
For sure.
Should we talk results of the last game?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's start laughing. Should we start at Tottenham, or should we say?
Yeah, you got to. I can't hold it in anymore.
Yeah, we've got to talk about that. I mean, come on, Tottenham. Could you be more
stupid?
Could you be more
Spurs? Could you be more Spurs?
I can't defend this team anymore. Like, I always want to, but I can't anymore. I just can't. It's hard. It's so hard. What are they going to do?
And I get it.
Ange is on the edge right now. Ange is on the hot seat now.
It has to be now. After that, they were blown away by Everton in the first half. They were 3-0 down at halftime. And, they weren't even laying a glove on them. And maybe it's the new manager bounce or the return of David Moyes, and he got, players fired up and whatever else. But Tottenham must be the most frustrating team to support for anybody out there who supports Tottenham, because one week they're beating the best teams, and then the next week they are literally capitulating and just not laying a glove on teams that they should be beating. It's
United and Tottenham, I think, are the same.
United probably more frustrating because of the fall from grace. But Tottenham for just this just spur. We laugh about it, and it's Tottenham.
And they're a great team, great organization with a great history. But
just a quick one, because I've been looking at the Premier League table for the last 10 minutes. No, sorry, mate. I honestly totally agree. I think that in terms of United as an organization, or at least history-wise, you can't argue they're a ridiculous club. They just are. So this you must be a sick man if you're enjoying this downfall. Anyway,
I am 100%. Go on.
Yeah, we're all very, very sick men.
We're all loving it to death.
Just a quick question, Juno. Not looking at the table right now, if someone had told you 22 games into the season, West Ham would be sat in the middle of Man United and Tottenham, would you have taken that?
Hell no. And I don't even bet. Hell no. It's unheard of.
Because that is where West Ham is sat. West Ham
currently sat.
Yeah, I know.
United 13th, Tottenham 15th. What a table. What a table, by the way.
24.
And
24.
And look at Tottenham's. Have you looked at the table with the last 6 games in it? Or whatever
it's rough.
Well,
rough. They've lost
Tottenham.
7 of their last 10 or something, haven't they?
Okay. But guys, let's just be real here. Would I've ever been that Crystal Palace and Fulham and Brighton are ahead of me going into this January? I would have told you are crazy.
Bournemouth?
Bournemouth too. Oh my God, I forgot about them too. Even Newcastle.
Come on, let's be honest.
Oh, even Forest. No, that's Peaches. Forest.
Nobody. Yeah. Forest.
Even Chelsea, man. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. I don't know. To cut Tottenham a little bit of slack, which not really my forte. Their injury crisis has been pretty honking, but equally, I kind of feel like it's minorly been brought on themselves. I feel like they're another one of those teams that they have like such a thin squad. Like it's like that starting
11, right?
Yeah, that starting 11 is amazing. Like there are some players that I really like. Again, I hate them things. I really like some players in that Tottenham team. Like Mickey van der Ven, I think is absolutely quality. Like there are some players in that team that I really, really like. But kind of past that first 11, you're starting to struggle. And when you play such a high line and such intense football like Ange does, it kind of feels like Marcelo Bielsa with Leeds a couple of seasons ago, right? Like the injuries just kept happening. Yeah. I mean, they were like, okay, but are you going to do something different? And they're like, no. Absolutely not.
This is the way we play. And
it does feel quite self-inflicted, like the injury crisis is hard. Like any club that goes through an injury crisis is rough. It is hard to deal with. I'm feeling it. Exactly. Right. Like Gino's living this right now. But equally, sometimes upon Tottenham, especially when they're a club with, the resources that they have at their disposal and the style of football they play, you would assume they would think about needing a bigger squad than they have. So it's hard, but equally this could have been prevented.
You would hope that Ange would have a plan B for situations where the way he wants to play isn't going to work because of A, the numbers, or B, the players he has available. But they don't. They just have this high line, full-out attack, and it will win them games, but it will get them absolutely crucified in other games, and that's what happened in the first half here.
It just blows my mind when they're still trying to play. I mean, I know I feel like, is Vicario back now? But like when you see them still trying to play that brand of football with like Fraser Forster in goal. First of all, I didn't even realize Fraser Forster was still a professional footballer. Man,
I thought he hung up his gloves
That's
years
what I
ago.
mean. Second of all,
I didn't know Joe Litton was even available. Or Murphy with Newcastle. If you could have told me that, I would have been like, no. And then Hayden, Isaac Hayden playing in the second level, I would have been like, oh, you're all crazy.
Yeah, to be fair, props for Newcastle still getting production out of Murphy, by the way, when I'm pretty sure his twin brother is playing for like League One Oxford or something. Like fair play for still getting use of him in a Premier League team is genuinely impressive.
Good one, DJ.
Yeah, thanks for joining, DJ. Much appreciated. Yeah, sorry, I feel like I've got massively sidetracked here, but things are just wild. I mean, just to quickly check a game off that I feel like we don't need to talk about too much. Spoke to my friend yesterday who's an Ipswich fan. Safe to say he did not have the best day of his life when going to watch his team play Manchester City yesterday.
They would have probably been expecting it because they started the season against City and they got a battering.
Yeah.
And so, I think City have managed to score 11 goals against Ipswich this season.
He just said he had a good day out. He's just enjoying being in the Premier League, He's just living the dream right now. I mean, I remember talking to this guy like 2 seasons ago, and he was like, Ipswich are going up. And I was like, nah, Wickham are going up. Now Wickham are still in League One and Ipswich are here. So, you know what? It's probably not nice watching your team get walloped, but it's probably a fun day out, right? Yes, that's
got to be a fun day out. Enjoy the ride. And so they'll be fine. They'll bounce back. They've got to play Tottenham again soon, so they'll get a win there.
That's another 3 points. Yeah, they'll be fine.
Just another 3 points in the bag.
They'll be fine.
Forest Southampton. What a ding dong.
Yeah.
This should not have been this close, Peaches. What happened?
Honestly, if I was her, I would have blocked my head out.
Cruising at 3-0.
I mean,
and then
to be fair, though,
did you just get complacent? I mean, I haven't seen it, but
no. I mean, Southampton, they were just in my personal opinion.
Keep going? Did they just keep
in the second half? They dominated.
Oh.
Incoming ref watch.
Ref watch. Oh, it's back. The VAR check.
Yeah.
Referee. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I just feel like this is such an annoying game from Southampton.
It was annoying
because they produce
several
at least a part of a game like that, and you're like, there's obviously something there. Like there's a bit of fight. I'm not saying this team will, or would stay up by any means, because I think we're all fairly safe in saying they're finished. They're
dead and buried. They are absolutely dead and buried. Yeah.
Right.
But I feel like games like this are so frustrating because like this Forest team are a good team, right? They're still sat in, where are they? Third? Like
they're still third. Well, joint second,
Forest
isn't it?
Team is joint second. This Forest team is a good team. If you can put up a fight against them with how well they're doing this season, you can put up a fight against most of the teams in this league, which makes their league position even more frustrating. It's like you clearly can do it to an extent. Like I get maybe keeping that up for 90 minutes is tough, but you've shown there's a bit, there's a bit of fight. There's a bit about you. Like, where has that been for? Why is it taking until like the 20th of January to show a bit of a fight back like that?
Yeah.
But I mean,
when you're already kind of dead and buried, surely there's got.
Why are
to be
you
some
saving it until
grind.
now to be pulling out something like this? Yeah, it's frustrating. But I mean, fair play to Forest. That's what you got to do. Sometimes you just got to grind out results. Yeah, exactly. You got the 3 points. That's the most important thing. That's the most important.
In a
thing.
team fighting for not to go to championship is
team scrapping for everything.
It's everything.
They should have put it to bed, but they made it interesting, but still come out with the win, which is important.
Yeah.
And then we've got the other game on Saturday, which led to the comment that we've already mentioned of the Man United being the worst team ever, where they lose at home to Brighton, who are that plucky, weird team, Brighton, who went through a bit of a blip.
Right.
But can tear teams apart when they're on their game. And I don't think they were on their game. They didn't have to be, because Onana doing Onana things gifted them another goal, gifted another game away, basically. It's just calamity at Old Trafford, and I'm all here for it. I mean, I love it. Long may it continue.
It will for a while, but then it'll come. And then everything is gonna. I seriously think United are going to be a team in the future that are going to be good, but right now they're just going through it. I think Amorin is the answer, but right now you're fighting for your fan base right now, and they're just going to implode after this season if they don't get anything right. You got to win games. I mean, if you don't win even the simplest of games, I think Brighton they could have won against, but they didn't. I just think they're fighting with themselves now. Like, it's been like that for years, but they're literally fighting with themselves, and they're weeding in the bad apples out of the organization. But at the same time, this is going to keep getting ridiculous. Their next game even is going to continue to get more ridiculous. So right now, I think they all need therapy. They need to go on a little 24-hour trip together. They need something.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
No, I don't know what it is. They either need a summer break or they need something, because they are just in free fall right now. And
Peaches brings up a good point too. She doesn't think that Amorin is the answer.
I don't think you can necessarily say he is not the answer, because again, I know we've spoken about this many times. Like, the problems at United go way above.
It goes way back.
There's a lot systemically wrong with that club, but equally, I'm just interested, Gino, to wonder why you just assume this club is going to be okay, because I feel like we have been assuming this for about 12 years now. And they still.
When did Fergie retire? It was about 12 years ago, wasn't it?
Was 2012, 13? That sort of season. Yeah. And if anything, they are just getting worse. I mean, United's worst finish ever in the Premier League era is about 7th or 8th, and they are currently sat 13th. Stinking out the gaff. Like,
okay, that's understandable.
So I guess I feel like, yes, it feels like because of the size of the club, and they do invest in the squad sometimes, but I'm interested to just think why we still just assume they are going to be fine, because it's been a hot minute now, and they're still pretty ass.
Yeah, I get that. I think overall, I love Ten Hag. and I love him as a coach. I think he's going to be better somewhere else.
Bring him back.
I don't think you should. I honestly, I think Amorin can get these guys into shape. In my opinion, it's just going to take time. I think for me, if they can't do it with the guy that's with the degree of having such great coaching strategies, such a great team around him, all the teams that he's coached, he's been doing it a lot longer than Ten Hag. I think if he can't fix that team, United's just going to be shit for a very long time.
Yeah.
I think this is the right move. Ten Hag had his ups and downs, but Amorin's just built different. I feel like it's just you're built different for the Premier League, and I think Amorin is built different for this team. But what he can't control, though, and we have all said this, right? He can't control upstairs. He can't control the owner. Can't control the GM. It's kind of like what I'm going through at West Ham right now. And the GM and my owner are not on the same page. Our coach is finally on the same page. Our coach now is going to take time. But I think if Amorin can't do it, because I do believe in him, I don't think nobody can. I think this guy's just built different, in my opinion.
Okay. And I think going back to what you said earlier about, City wouldn't have put this contract out there if they didn't know a few things. And Moyes wouldn't have gone to Everton if he hadn't been promised some, funding and a war chest. I think the same with Amorin is that he's been given. We know
they're giving him everything.
We know it's a shit show. We don't expect miracles. Please come in and just root and branch, rip this to pieces and rebuild us. You're here for at least 5 years, almost type thing.
Yeah.
And that's the only way. But I think you're right. He is different. I mean, it's not many managers who would have the balls, whatever, cojones, to come out in a press conference and say, here's your headline reporters. We are the worst United team ever.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't say that lightly to your players, right? I mean, he's obviously saying it to the players to say, get a grip. What the hell?
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, and we're loving it, as we say. I mean, we're all feeling really bad for them.
No, not really.
Sarcasm didn't come through quick enough there.
So bad. So bad.
Oh, slow. Feels so bad.
All right, I'm done talking.
So that was the Saturday games.
Yeah. Swiftly moving on.
Swiftly moving into the Sunday games. Hang on, I'm getting confused now. Where am I?
I was going to say, I feel we've done this in a weird order.
Yeah, we did. I don't know what he did.
Newcastle, Bournemouth. Who saw that one coming?
No, did not see that coming.
Nobody.
Where did that come from?
Happened? Hello?
Especially losing Billing like they did. They're active. They're very active right
Park, early kickoff travel. Bournemouth fans have to leave like at 2 a.m. in the morning to get all the way up there.
Newcastle have been pretty shit hot as well recently.
Newcastle have been flying. They were like 6 wins on the trot or something, and literally battered. I watched it on Match of the Day, and it wasn't like how did they manage to score 4? Randomly lucky. Bournemouth just outplayed them, outmuscled them, outcoached them in a way. The way that they pressed them, the way that they kind of stretched the field, didn't let them play through the middle, and it was like really, really impressive. And Kluivert was clinical with his finishing.
Yeah,
so a great result for Bournemouth. Totally out of the blue, did not see it coming, but fair play in it. And it's kind of derailed that sort of Newcastle juggernaut that was kind of getting up to speed with 5-6 wins on the bounce and starting to look like they were making a push for the top 4 or 5.
I think Newcastle is still going to be fine, but this is the kind of result that, like it happens, right? Like everyone has these results that are like, oh, we're fine. Like, we're cruising now. We're just winning games for fun. Oh God, we have been hit in the face. Square in the face. Yeah. Not even just like we have been proper.
You just run into a shovel.
Yeah. Oh, that's a brick wall. Okay, cool.
Facts.
But yeah, I mean, two good teams. But yeah, I did not see that one coming. I don't think any of us predicted that one.
No. Especially the form of both teams. Like, I thought this was going to be a closer game, to be fair. But I mean, props to
Bournemouth.
Props to Bournemouth. That's why I think they're going to be active in the window. Because my opinion.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right.
9-match win streak. Bugging me. I didn't realize it was that long. That's mental.
Man, yeah, I think. Oof. Yeah, it's true. Damn.
Fair play, Fair play.
Oof. All right. Well, guess we'll start. Guess we'll go with my game now.
Yeah. Do you want to quickly talk us through this one, Jay?
Well, this is one of the worst performances I think I've ever seen, to be fair. But I think overall, it's still early. He's got 10 injuries he's dealing with. It's just this is what's going to be like from the young guys for now on until we get somebody in here. Bowen's coming back in February. The other Tobadito is going to be out for another 5 or 6 more weeks. Somerville is coming back, so that's going to be a really nice boost. But overall, I'm not kidding you. We are dealing with 10 injuries. This is a beat up West Ham team that Potter came in, and I expected a tie. But I didn't expect Crystal Palace to win at all. I didn't expect the win. I just didn't expect it. But fair play. They dominated the game. It was just so bad. Like I felt like I was watching. No offense to people that watch the championship, but it felt like that kind of a game where it felt like not even a preseason. It felt like preseason to me.
Wow.
Okay. To be fair, though, I guess, like you said, if the injury crisis is that bad, it's rough. Like trying to, when you're kind of like, okay, we got to try and cobble a team together, but both of our first team centre backs are out, the full backs are out, we have no striker, wingers are out, goalkeepers in Magaluf. Like it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's not good right now.
And by the sounds of it, it's going to you may have a few more of these sort of not great performances and not great games whilst people start to come back. So,
I mean, you're already going through the transition of a new manager as well, right? Like that's a lot to be going on at the same time. That's a lot.
I mean, guys, I don't want to be worried about 2 years ago being relegated. I don't want to. If we keep losing like that, it could get to that point.
Back in there, aren't you? Yeah.
I
not
think
that far away. Yeah.
I think it's an easy way to say that we are. I mean, shoot. I mean, here's the thing, though. If we lose 4 or 5 more games in January, sorry, 3 or 4 more games, and Tottenham and Everton, even Wolves can skip out something. If Ipswich Town or Southampton, if they just get even a tie, like you're gonna see us move down a little bit.
Yeah,
it's gonna. Stresses.
Yeah, but it's fine. Tottenham's down there though. You've got a buffer of Tottenham there, so you're okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to catch them on a good day though.
Isn't that crazy that we're even talking about that? You've got a buffer of Tottenham in a relegation battle. What the hell is that about? What is going on?
Yeah, well, I mean the World Cup year that didn't help either though. That was just nuts.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
very true. It's like Peaches has got your back though. There's three worse teams at least down there, and one of them, Leicester, on the back of a hiding, got again handled by Fulham.
I saw possibly my favorite ever article on BBC Sport the other day that just popped up saying, "Are the former Premier League champions in a relegation scrap?" And I was like, "Well, they are sat in 19th, so I would say yes, they are."
And you can't keep calling them former Premier League. Yeah, and granted, yes, they are former Premier League champions, but they are also newly promoted Leicester.
That was also equally a rather long time ago. And the only player remaining from that team is Jamie Vardy, who is about 45 now. So
yeah, just living off of Red Bull on, I think, intravenous.
Yeah, that would be like me asking, like, oh well, is this Chelsea team, going to repeat the antics of the 2012 team? Probably not. Very different team. Very different team.
They got out-muscled at Fulham. They got outplayed. They barely laid a hand on them.
Fulham are a good team, to be fair.
Yeah, clinical.
I suppose maybe, I know Leicester are obviously struggling, but I suppose you don't want to see yourself get bullied quite that much by a mid-table team. Fulham are a good team, don't get me wrong, but they are sat in 10th. It's not as if they're kind of setting the world alight. They're just having a kind of comfortable mid-table season. So to be kind of slapped around quite like that is not a great look. Like we said earlier, when you've got something to fight for, you are in the relegation zone, but realistically, you are 2 points behind the 2 teams above you. It's not as if you are gone, right? You very much are still in this and have something to fight for. But I mean, Leicester have lost at least their last 5. Their form is looking pretty rough right now.
Pretty red down the bottom there. Yeah, it's not looking great. And then Arsenal with the chance to close the gap at the top after seeing Liverpool. I suppose Liverpool. Talk about the Liverpool game. Brentford did Brentford things. Frustrated Liverpool for 90 minutes at the G-Tech. Couldn't really break through. Dominated, but just one of those looked like we were going to dominate and batter them 0-0 until Darwin Núñez popped up with 2 injury time goals, which could end up being
Darwin Núñez.
It could end up being in the long run, really important 3 points there, especially considering that Arsenal then went out and only got a draw to not catch us.
Right.
That was huge when Villa clawed Arsenal back to 2-2. So, massive 2 goals for Darwin Núñez, personally for him, because obviously came off the bench, won the game, gives him a massive boost of confidence, and it keeps us in that comfortable position of 6 clear with a game in hand. So, it's a very nice position to be sitting in.
But I feel like those are the kind of games as Liverpool you need to be winning, right? Like, you know, you need your entire squad to chip in. And if that is someone like a Darwin Núñez coming in, just scoring even 1 in injury time to get you across the line and get you 3 points, that's all that matters. Like, this is what championship winning teams do. They just
and it's interesting you mentioned about
been at their best.
Yeah, you mentioned about the whole squad, because Darwin Núñez's goal was made by Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, 2 players who'd come off the bench to try and change the game, feeding in Trent, who then set up the first goal, and then Chiesa was involved in his second goal. Again, another late substitute. So it's the full squad pitching in, making it happen, and winning games like that you need to win if you're going to go far and challenge for the title in this season. Because Brentford's a tough place. We've talked about it before. We've said Brentford at home is not an easy. And they didn't make it easy, but Arne Slot had to make some changes, threw on 4 or 5 players, and got the result. So he's been blessed with some quality substitutions in the last week. The one against Forest, where he threw on Tsimikas and Jota, and literally by their first kick of the game managed to get the equaliser against Forest. His substitutions have worked as well. So everything is coming up rosy for Arne Slot right now.
Unfortunately, I think Liverpool, the way things are going with Darwin, it's like, what kind of guy you're going to get every day? And even Luis Diaz, even him, and those frustrations there. But it's going to be a lot of frustrations in January overall for Liverpool because of the 3 players that we keep talking about. And with these games, everyone's going to be gunning for you. You're expected to win now, the whole thing. They're going to have these type of Brentford games even down the line. You could even say Fulham. You could even say Brighton. It's going to be tough to hold and manage
target on
everything.
Our backs now. Absolutely. Everything, as they used to say, every other team is going to treat the Liverpool game now like the FA Cup final. They're going to be all out.
Amen.
So, that's another thing that young team have to deal with. Some of those younger players, to mention Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, some of the young guys, they'll have to get used to that game being the biggest game for these other teams.
Facts.
But at the moment, they're holding up to it, and it doesn't look like it's phasing them. So that's great. And Matty, the last game of this weekend has just finished today. Obviously, Chelsea looking quite comfortable with their patched up squad and returning players and whatever else, making light work of Wolves by the sound of it. And Wolves' defence not exactly standing up when needed.
No, but this is maybe the kind of game that Chelsea probably needed. I feel like we've been on a little bit of a slide recently where, like, I don't think we've been playing awfully. It's not as if we've gone totally back to like Chelsea of 2 years ago, where just chaos ball, nobody knows what they're doing. But we just haven't been getting the results. I mean, literally our last 4 games before this, 2 defeats, 2 draws. Like it's not. I say not been good enough. I think again, I'm just gonna take some rough perspective of where we've been for the last couple of years. Being sat in 4th, I am more than fine with that. That is absolutely okay. I have no issue with that whatsoever. But yeah, this is maybe the kind of game that this Chelsea team needed. I feel like the confidence had maybe gone in the locker room a little bit. I feel like, we really had something cooking for a hot minute there when we were somehow sat in second for a bit. I feel like this team really had it going, and I feel like it is a young team. Obviously, Maresca is still, relatively
putting the pieces together, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. And as much as it's easy to look at this season and be like, oh well, everything at Chelsea is fine now, I'm fully aware that behind the scenes this is probably still an absolute clown show. So, I think if we're managing to put an okay product on the pitch and we're back to winning games and sitting in fourth, I'm more than happy with that from a Chelsea point of view, bearing in mind what has been happening for the last couple of years. I am okay.
Bearing in mind what game you've got coming up at the weekend as well.
Oh God, don't. Oh
yeah.
God. Oh,
bruh, it's
3
not.
points. Win. Dub. Bang. Pep is cooked.
Is Arsenal in trouble?
El Baldico.
Yes.
Sorry. Is Arsenal in trouble?
It's a very rhetorical question.
Define trouble.
What if
that was literally going to be my 2 words? Define trouble.
I mean, they're not like Southampton trouble, or but they are.
Nobody in Southampton
literally
trouble,
being called this. It's going to go down. Ship's going to blow up.
I think they are starting to creak a little bit at the edges. I think
they can't handle it.
They can't handle the pressure has got to them a little bit. I think the weight of expectations on that team is starting to kind of force pressure. You know what they say about pressure? It either crushes you or makes diamonds. And I think they're starting to feel, and they're starting to crumble a little bit. So that's it'll be interesting to see.
It's amazing. I freaking love it. Love it.
I'm loving it from the position of, as if they keep tripping over, as Matty says, they're falling over their own spaghetti and they're not getting any closer when they have opportunities.
Right.
And Liverpool, had a couple of draws during the week, and it was like, oh, this is just Arsenal's chance, and they couldn't take it.
They could have taken it, but they didn't.
They could have, but they didn't. So it's like, well, you obviously don't want it. You obviously can't have it.
Love it. Love the downfall. Ipswich, I'm sorry about City's 6-0 win. I'm sorry. I think we all predicted that.
Sorry, it gets easier for Ipswich. They've only got Liverpool this week.
I feel like Ipswich's fixture list is just either not like nice, but I feel like they have these periods that are just rough. Like, I swear the start of their season was absolutely feral as well. Like, I remember
they had City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, or Chelsea. They had like
and I'm pretty sure they had like of their first 6 games, like 5 of them were those games or something. Like, they are horrendous. But I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Maybe just get all the really bad games out in one go, and then just be like, right, do you know what? For the next couple of weeks, let's just not worry about it too much, right? These teams are not our battle. Like, if these go horrendously badly, that's okay. This is not where we're gonna win or lose survival. Like, these are not those games, okay?
I think that's the way they have to look at it, right? It's just like these next 4 games.
This isn't where we. It's like, when like a couple of years ago, when like Norwich beat City, and you're like, what belter of a result? But equally, that's not where Norwich are staying in the Premier League. Like, that's a cracking result, but then long term, that does nothing. Like, those are not the games you really need to be worried about. But
hands down.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
All right, preview the week ahead. Match day 23.
23 already.
Ooh, God, it's crazy. Brighton and Everton early 9 a.m. Ooh. What do we think? I think that's gonna be a game that Brighton could have a struggle with. I don't think this is gonna be a cakewalk. I think this is gonna be.
It won't be a cakewalk. And Moyes, that's the second game of Moyes. Yeah. He'll be, he'll have got them organised, playing, the way he wants. So they won't be as open. It'll be tough for Brighton to break that team down. I still fancy Brighton after beating United. They're probably feeling comfortable themselves. So it'll be a good game, but it won't be a big scoring game. It'll be the odd goal, 2-1, probably Brighton, just edging it because it's an away game for Everton. It's a long journey down to the south coast.
Fact.
Yeah, I feel like Everton are going to be one of those fan bases that travel well, but equally you are still traveling, right? You're going to be by far outnumbered, and like we've kind of spoken about multiple times before, Brighton are a very well-oiled machine. And I feel like you'd probably back them to do the job at home. I don't think it's going to be like a runaway win. Don't know if you're playing a small team like Man United, maybe, but I think it's going to be I'm so sorry. I understand why we.
You're so
no, I'm not.
I love that you always sounded.
Do not feel sorry. Don't ever feel sorry for this.
Not sorry in the slightest. Their roof's falling apart. Sort it out, boys. But yeah, I think this will. Yeah, do you know? Let's move on. Liverpool, Ipswich. What are you saying?
I'm pushing the roof. Maddie, I love you, man. You're the best.
I was gonna say.
All right, well, Liverpool and Ipswich. That's going to be 6-0. I think we can all agree on that, right, Gary?
6-0 Ipswich. Shut the boys.
6-0 Liverpool.
Drag the boys.
It won't be that. It won't be that. It'll be 2-0. Liverpool will have their 5-10 minutes of like playing out of their skin football. Get to maybe 3 goals and then go right. That'll do.
Yeah, I feel like Liverpool have gone from being so like chaos ball to just so nicely regimented. And they're like, do you know what? We'll just score 2, get the job done.
Or Ed Sheeran.
Like, yeah. Poor Ed.
Yeah. I tell you what, the good thing about it for Ed Sheeran is he's going to have plenty of material for his new album. Don't know what he'll call it. Relegation.
It's going to be a sad one.
It's going to be sad ending. It's going to be called relegation. But there you go.
Damn.
Southampton, Newcastle.
Yeah, that's going to be okay. That's the game. I think it's going to be tighter than people think. I think it's going to be 1-1.
Oh, do you think? Because I feel like Newcastle are going to be like wounded animal here. They're going to be like, right, people are writing us off because we just got battered by Bournemouth. We need to hurt somebody, and unfortunately, Southampton are just there like, oh dear. Like I feel like Southampton are going to get absolutely whacked in this one.
Oh dear me.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to be like, "Oh dear, chaps. Well, we'll try again next week, shall we?" Like, I think this could be rough.
I'm not sure why Bournemouth have turned into a 1950s gentleman's club.
Yeah,
hilarious.
No, I know that's where people go and retire, but that's an interesting.
Very out of touch with my Southampton.
For sure. For sure.
But yeah, I definitely see Newcastle travelling down there and giving it Southampton an absolute.
Yeah, I think this could get pretty feral.
Really?
I feel it.
All right. Well, I think Wolves and Arsenal, man, I would love to see just both teams lose, but we can't do that. So I think for me, Arsenal is a get relegated for them, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think
that team is in
Arsenal come through that.
Especially if Cunha goes to Arsenal. Especially if Cunha goes to Arsenal, that'd be hilarious.
Cunha's a baller, but if Wolves lose him, then they're basically giving up this season.
They have nobody.
Literally. That is how Wolves win this transfer window. They just need to keep hold of Cunha. That is the only thing they can do.
Right. Cunha knows how good it is.
Peaches decides that Wolves are going to win. I mean,
oh my god, that'll be.
I have such a weird feeling this is going to be a draw, and
it's going to be a tie. It's going to be a tie, gentlemen.
I'm not even trying to say that just with my like Arsenal
1-1
hat on. I just have a weird feeling this is going to be a draw. I mean,
I've got that 1-1 written all over it.
I think it's 1-1 for sure.
I think so. That's going to be a sneaky game.
Jeez, more games on Saturday. Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest. Peaches, I am so sorry. I'm just going to let you know this right now. I think it's going to be a 2-2 tie.
Ooh.
Dude, I'm sorry. She's going to kill me. But what do you think? I mean, both teams are playing great. I don't know what to tell you. What would you say to this game? These both games?
I do feel like this one's going to be interesting. Like
Bournemouth just said the same thing.
Bournemouth just feel like such a. I mean, I feel like this has become a bit of a trope now. I feel like we say this every week. Bournemouth are just such a sneaky good team, and I feel like you can never, no matter how you think, like, oh, they're a tiny club, but this is going to be fine. They are just sneaky good, and if you don't take them seriously, they'll pull it out against you. I mean, like they literally showed with Newcastle last week, who were absolutely flying. Like. Right. I'd probably have faith in Forest to get this done. Like, I just feel like the vibes are on Forest's side right now, and I know it's a bit of a shaky. Haven't beat them since 2015. You're kidding me on. That's not a real statistic.
I mean, wait. What? How many leagues have they played in?
They must have been together in the Championship a couple of times.
That's what I'm saying.
Imagine.
That's what I'm
maybe cup competitions. That's mental. If that's true,
it is a bit mental. That is one of those crazy stats, isn't it? Yeah, I see this being a tighter game, but I still see, if Forest play they did against Liverpool, medium to low block, it will nullify sort of that speed that Bournemouth have got, and then Chris Wood's counter attack. I think you'll probably do it. Championship together and then promoted together. Go, and they still haven't beaten us in 2015, so it's got 1-1 draw written all over it.
That is a wild stat. If that's actually mental. Fair. Yeah, we've all got bogey teams. To be fair, I always really stress when Chelsea have to play West Ham, because I feel like no matter how good Chelsea are, and no matter how awful a moment West Ham are in, West Ham are just always really good against Chelsea. Like, I know what you mean. I feel like every team has that team. You're like, I hate playing them. I hate it.
I hate playing Crystal Palace.
We're like that with Newcastle.
It's like Man City and Spurs. Spurs always pull out a result, and then they'll go lose to someone really terrible. All
right.
Everton. So then you got City, Chelsea.
All right, take it away, Maddie, because I want to hear this. I want to see what kind of Maddie-isms is going to happen. We're ready to get hurt again. That's what he's saying. We're ready to get hurt again.
See, if this game were happening like a month earlier, I would be so like, we'll do him. Like, we'll absolutely do him. But
right.
I feel like City are starting to get it together. I mean, they haven't got a loss in any of their last 5 games, which is something that, like I said, a month ago,
6 goals past
felt impossible. Like, you think of just how honking this City team's form was. Like I said, Chelsea been on a bit of a slide. We've pulled it back against Wolves. We're, looks a bit more routine now, but I'm just going to come straight. I don't see us winning this game. I would absolutely take a draw. I'd be happy with that. I think considering how inconsistent they have been this season, I would not be annoyed if we lost, but I would feel like a draw would be a fair result here. I mean, if you look at like the stats and stuff across the season, weirdly, Chelsea and City are kind of pretty much the same, like in a lot of metrics. Like, we've scored exactly the same. Their defense has just been 2 goals leakier than ours. Like, the teams are pretty level going into this, which feels strange considering how high people have been on Chelsea and how low people have been on City. And here we are, 22 games in, 2 points separated, right? Like, it's crazy how
it's a bit random
different the vibes are around the teams. And I get that's because City have obviously set such a ridiculously high bar of excellence for God knows how long. But yeah, I feel a draw incoming. I don't know how you gents are feeling about this one.
No, I think it's going to be. I think, honestly, Gary, you might. I don't know if you're going towards what I'm thinking. I think this is definitely going to be a 2-2 draw.
Okay.
A draw is the ideal scenario for me with my Liverpool hat on, because neither of you get any closer.
Yes.
I think a 2-2 draw or 3-3 draw, or one of those crazy cracking games where both teams go for it, but neither team can defend, and it ends up being 3-3, and everyone loves it, and everyone comes out of it going, "Wow, what a game!" But nobody actually benefits from it. Great.
Yeah, this could have potential to be one of those ridiculous games. Like Chelsea and City definitely have a. I feel like Chelsea and City games are really tense, and it's either like a 0-0 or a 1-1. Or it's just ridiculous and everything goes out the window. So I can see it. But yeah, I don't see either team particularly having the edge in this one. Like, we've been kind of misfiring. I think City have definitely got something back, but they're still not the team they have been. I mean, they punched 6 past Ipswich, which we can't just say is nothing, but they probably not should be doing that. That sounds really bad. But yeah, right. Like, with this,
without saying it's only Ipswich, it is only Ipswich.
So, they are still without Rodri. And even if they are figuring it out, that's such a massive hole. Like, it would be for any team. So I don't think I've fully got my confidence back in City more than I have full faith in Chelsea. I think is probably a better way of putting that, I think.
Interesting.
Score draw. Lovely. Liking it. Right.
All right. Tottenham Leicester.
Leicester win, move on.
Yeah.
Leicester win, right?
No, tie 0-0.
Yeah, I genuinely feel a draw.
So many ties this weekend.
I have no faith in either of these teams.
Jamie Vardy scores in the 87th minute.
Bro, what are we?
Gets the winner.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I just don't have faith in either.
He kicks off his Zimmer frame and away he goes.
Bro. They're both awful. And equally, as bad as Leicester are, they're only like 4 positions
win.
behind Tottenham. So
look at that. Look what she said. Spurs win.
Nah.
Leicester get battered. Leicester getting battered everywhere they go. Apart
I
from
can
the
smell some personal bias coming in here, because
I think that's more. Yeah, no, I think to be honest, I think that's going to either be a draw or Leicester are going to win that, because Spurs are just in a bit of a mess. And
right.
Who knows? By the time we get to that game, who knows who's going to be in charge?
Or Tottenham have that game, and then we're all like, "Oh, Tottenham are back," and then they just get twatted next week. Like,
no.
No, but I feel like with Tottenham, you could be like any week, you could tell me any result, and I could be like, yeah, it might happen. I don't know. I don't know. This team makes no
Tottenham
sense.
win that 5-0, or Tottenham lose that 3-0.
Yeah, or Tottenham get 3 men sent off. Ange is down the job centre on Monday, and like the stadium's burnt down. Yeah, that could happen. Why not? That could absolutely happen.
Spurs. Yep.
All right, Crystal and Brentford.
London derby. Palace done well. A couple of wins.
Palace have turned it around. They were awful at the beginning.
They're starting to put it together.
No.
Still see Brentford being strong enough to take them, though. I think Brentford win that.
There you go.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I was just giving a little bit of credit. I mean, Palace have lost their best defender. He's gone back to his parent club, so it's a sad time. Sorry, just anyway to shoehorn myself in there. It is.
I love you.
Do you know, actually, I was talking to one of the guys in my Twitch chat the other day. I actually met a Palace fan in the wild. I didn't think they existed. I thought they.
Oh, shoot.
A real one? Like
a genuine, real Palace fan. They exist.
At the bar that I go to, I met 2 Brighton fans and I met 1 Bournemouth fan. It's a sports bar, but mostly soccer. And I'm like seeing these people. I'm like, who the hell are you?
Brighton feels understandable. I know a couple of Brighton fans. Bournemouth feels quite out.
That feels just one old lady.
They didn't accidentally think it was like an AC Milan show.
AC Milan.
No, she explained everything about their stadium. She showed me pictures and videos that she went to the games and stuff. Like,
oh, fair play.
I was like, okay, all right. There's a Bournemouth fan here. All right.
I'll take that.
All right, she's definitely going to retire there. She said she's going to retire there. I'm like,
that's what Bournemouth is renowned for.
Exactly.
Claret and Blue derby, West Ham Villa. What are you thinking, G?
We're not that great against Villa. That's the thing. We've never really have. So I think it's all going to come down to what if Duran
could shout their peaches.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I still think it's going to be a tie. I still think it's going to be a tie.
They're in trouble.
Right. No. Listen, we're relying too much on the young kids. Villa's going to. I have a feeling this is going to be another loss, guys. It's just going to be one of those things. If we don't get a striker in here soon, especially with the way Duran is, when we got offered $57 million to Villa, maybe Duran might feel some type of way with Villa. Maybe, I don't know. I just don't think we're going to win. I just think everything with all the injuries. I just think that's what I'm thinking. I think 2-0 Villa. 2-0 Villa. Unfortunately,
would it be even more galling if Villa actually start with Duran after you put a bid in?
Well, I mean, when they first started him, we were linked with him in the summer. He scores a super sub against us. So, yeah, that's going to happen again.
That would be some
Duran's going to
quality
trolling.
Yeah,
that would be some top quality trolling.
Tielemans is going to score, and Duran is going to score. That's what
2 players that you want. Yep. Sounds about right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Wait. What do you guys think?
No, I'd love to say I disagree with you, but yeah, I feel like Villa are a good team, and again, they're kind of coming good again. I know they had a bit of a wobble, but they seem to have kind of gotten back on track ish.
Yeah.
Like you said, your squad is just decimated right now, and like you've still got a new manager, which is obviously a good thing, but that's still someone trying to transition, especially when your start to the season was kind of less than ideal. So I feel like you guys are going to be up against it in this one. I'm probably
unfortunately you are going to struggle here. I think 2-0 Villa is probably going to be the result there.
Ooh, this game though.
This game could be, bro. This game could be anything. Amorin could get the response and they come out flying, and it's like, oh, we're not the worst team. Look at us, and then they put 4 goals past Fulham. Can easily see that. Much like Matty, you just said the Spurs result. Somebody comes up and goes,
it could be literally anything.
United lose 4-0, and you go, yeah. Or you get United win that game 5-0. You go, yeah, that sounds about right.
No, I Fulham's going to win this game. Fulham's going to win this game, guys. Jimenez is going to score, guys. It's going to happen.
This doesn't look like he could hit a barn door at the moment.
This is a get-right game for them. I really do. I think it's going to be 1-0. Jimenez is going to get that goal.
Oh, I do really want to predict a Fulham win. I just don't know how much I believe it.
I feel you. Though.
I think Harry Wilson, Smith Rowe, and John Traore will cause problems for that Man United defence. So I see them getting goals. I can see them at home as well. Craven Cottage, tiny little place, late on a Sunday night. It's a weird time kickoff, that one.
It is strange. It is very strange.
That's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff on a Sunday night.
It's a school night. People have got bedtimes.
It's a school.
It's such a strange kickoff time. Weird. But yeah, I see Fulham at home. I see Fulham doing that.
Oh, go on. Then. Let's go for the clean sweep. I can't see this going wrong. Up the Fulham.
Yeah, it's
Fulham. It's going to be like a home game for United because all the London.
All the United fans are from London area.
Facts. All facts.
Very true.
All facts. I agree.
Yeah. But go Fulham. I can see them turning them over, especially with the state that United are in.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot right now. I'm loving every second of it. But it's it's looking kind of rough right now.
It's looking kind of rough at Old Trafford. Speaking of being rough at Old Trafford, I suppose as a football show we should actually pay homage to one of the greats of football and Man United at the time. Dennis Law passing away.
Definitely.
Week. I mean, one of the true greats of the game. May he rest in peace. One of Scotland's, if not Scotland's best player ever, and obviously one of the highlights of that front three at United. I think still possibly the only front three that all won the Ballon d'Or. So,
that's wild.
That's a wild stat, but that's how good
insane.
That team were.
That's insane. Yeah. Oh my god!
Rest in peace, Dennis Law.
Yeah,
rest in peace. Wow.
On that cheerful note.
Wow,
boys! Wow, we have just smashed out 90 minutes of mayhem.
I love it. That's what we do.
I loved it.
Yeah, what a show!
What a show!
Hour and a half.
It went everywhere. It went everywhere.
It's good, but that's what's going to be like the next month. It's going to be everywhere.
Just stories coming out left, right, and center, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yeah, especially, I mean, next time we're talking, we're going to be pretty much at the end of the January window. So it's going to be
transfer deadline.
See what's happened in the next week because I feel like it's going to be busy.
And then we get the complaint. We get the complaint
transfer window, right?
We get the complaint. Yeah, 31st.
Yeah, so it's all the way through to the 31st.
Yeah, 31st, but like in some other.
I feel like there's
it'll be like another
with some caveats of making sure like the machine works.
Asia and MLS, they don't close on the 31st. I think that's still like opening.
They can still come in.
They could do like another week. So it's
in about 2 weeks we'll have the final picture. But I feel like by the time next week rolls around, it's going to be juicy. Like things are going to happen in the next week.
There's going to be some big.
We're going to talk about it all.
There's going to be some big stories.
We'll cover as much of it as we can. Yeah, baby.
We're going to cover it all. We're going to cover it all.
Cover it all. Right, boys. Loved you.
Love you.
Peace out. Thanks for the chat, guys. Honestly, in the chat, man, the chat was flying today. Thank you for sticking with us.
All my friends.
Love you.
All my friends, thank you for coming.
All your friends, all our friends who come and join us, we love you guys. Thanks very much. We'll be back next week to talk transfer deadline.
Ready to get hurt again. Ready to get hurt again.
Welcome to Let the Mayhem Begin with myself, Groovy. We've got Italy Jet Gino in the house. We got Matt.
Story of the season. It's Torres to give Chelsea a place in the Champions League final. The headline has been written. Brilliant response. Liverpool lead early in the Champions League final.
And he's in behind with Igor giving chase to the channel off his line. in the 90th minute.
I'm ready to get hurt again.